to Young's Crossing Creations. Actually, today I should say Young's Crossing Mess. I just took a notion that I need to clean out my kitchen. It's so windy outside, or I would be out fixing my porch up for spring, but man, it's just terrible windy. So I came in here, and of course the fun chore, clean the stove. I've got it soaking off a little bit. I jumped from one thing to the other. What I really started to do was over here. I know I have too many containers for my utensils, but even my husband agrees I use them. I use them frequently, and we don't have that much drawer space. So where do I put them? But so I've got numerous. Like, this is my steak knives and my pasta picker upper. And this is the silicone coated tongs. And this is a great scoop for casseroles or ice cream. And then lots of times I make little cookies and stuff, and these are great for doing that. And then I've got my extra pair of tongs because we use a lot of tongs. And this is this is Casey Pottery, Marshall, Texas. And I had got this at Waxahachie at the fair, can't think of it. Anyway, we got this years ago. It had bluebonnets painted on it. And I usually turn them to the back, but in the spring, I turn them to the front. So I got those. And this was my main one. I have 2 graters, and I need 2 graters because we grate a lot of cheese. Then I've got my egg separator, and I use that. Then I've got my big spoon, and then I've got my other pair of tongs. We use a lot of tongs. Then I've got my whisk and a pizza cutter and my slotted spoon and my soup scooper. And I think I use everything in here at least once a week, especially on potato masher. I use that and the cheese graters. So those are some of my things on my cabinet. And I did have stuff in this, but I didn't like the way it looked as much. Oh, here's another pizza cutter. I have 3 pizza cutters, but we each have our favorite one. So anyway, now I'm missing a container. There they are. I'm missing 2. Okay, this has my little tiny whisk. I have 3 or 4 of those, but you know, you use them a lot, or I do. Maybe I'm cooking too much. And then I've got my little spatulas that I use anytime I'm getting like tomato sauce out of a can or whatever. And then I've got my little pastry brush to brush butter on rolls and such as that. Then I've got my spatulas, bigger spatulas, 2 of those. And this one's extra flexible. I kind of like that now and then. And then I've got this silicone spatula that I use. It's probably the first thing I've showed that I don't use a whole lot, but you know, it's there if I need it. And and I got this at the same place, the Renaissance Fair. That's what it was in Waxahachie. And these are bluebonnets painted on there, and I use it like this in the winter and this in the spring and summer. Love bluebonnets. Then this is my other one. This is my larger pastry brush or butter. I don't know what you call them. I don't know the technical name. Now this and this and this. These are things I don't use real often that I could put in my container over on the Hoosier cabinet. So I may consider doing that. But then I have my spreader, and I just used this the other day. I made a mandarin orange cake, and I spread the frosting on that. Then the ice pick. Just recently, my husband could not find the ice pick because it is usually in here. So I found it and put it back in here. So next time he'll know. And then I've got this other little silicone covered tongs. Those are good for like, deviled eggs, pickles on a relish tray, things like that. And then I've got this, and I don't use this a whole lot. I could probably take it out. So that's what, 4 things I could take out. I don't think that's enough to do away with any. But anyway, this is my 3rd coffee maker I found. We don't drink coffee. My mom always said when I was growing up that you should always have coffee to offer someone when they come. But we don't usually we use our largest one for tea. That's the way we make our tea. So I'm going to put this in here. Actually, I'm going to pull the little one kind of to the front. And put that back there and that back there. Oh, my little whisk. That's my big one there. I'll put my little one here. I may have a problem. I don't know. But, and I bought this bowl just the other day. I just thought it was so cute. I have a blue one somewhere, and it's so pretty to put in the cabinet, but I guess I'll have to somewhere. Well, won't even get started there. And this, I just recently got these. I got them, I think, off Amazon. It's a huge pack of washable paper towel substitutions. Because lots of times I'll grab a paper towel just to wash up where I set a glass and it left a water ring or such as that. And so in my closet over here, it used to be our pantry years ago, this little door here. And I have a wash tub and, well, a dishpan in there. And instead of throwing your paper towel in the trash, we're throwing this reusable paper towel in that dishpan. And then I wash them. It's been working great. I did never think my husband would, do that with me, but he's doing it. And paper towels and stuff are getting so expensive for any kind of quality one. And goodness, I've got some in the dryer right now, so this is just a few of them. And I had this little square basket, so I just put it there. And then I've got my Pioneer Woman measuring cups. I rarely use them because I think, when you put it in there, do you go to the line where it says 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, whatever? Or do you fill the whole thing? I don't know. I like my more dependable measuring cups that I'm used to, but they're so pretty. So they're sitting out here. I guess I could move them a little. And then this is my butter container. It's metal, and I got it at a thrift store because I started leaving stick butter out on the counter. We use it up really quick. the front, I noticed that butter is crooked. So I really need to learn to use my Silhouette machine, Silhouette Cameo machine. So I think I'm going to go in there right now and see if I can print out butter and put it on here straight and get rid of this. If I can get rid of this. I don't know if I can get rid of this. So I'm going to do that. Well, I'll figure something else out about the butter. Maybe I can con my daughter-in-law to come back and retrain me. This one I have. Anyway, this is just my dish. This is my regular dish scrubber. And then I have one in here that's just for my cast iron. And they fill it up, so I need the whole thing. And I like them handy right here by my sink. Put one of my coffee makers over here. Then I have this cute little crock with a candle in it. Sometimes I light that when I'm in the kitchen. It just kind of adds a little ambiance. Then I have some bar soap in here. In my kitchen, sometimes I use that instead of the Bath and Body Works I have a soap dispenser on my sink, but it's a booger to fill, I tell you. It takes both of us to fill it because it's such close quarters down in there. So I leave the bar soap here, for an extra use. And I have found this little cutting board at a thrift store. And so I just sit that there, and I've got it over here. Now, I'm going to move these away till I decide what to do with them. Oh, and some loblolly pine seeds I need to plant. So that's just this side of the cabinet. Also cleaning out my other cabinets, I found 2 of my pecani sauce jars that I had left that I made last year, and they're still real sealed. So my husband would be tickled that I ran across those. We thought we ate them all, but they were hidden by my 3rd coffee maker up there. Wheat flour, and this is a vintage jar. The lid and everything I got it at an estate sale of a lady that I was close friends with her niece, and she had so many of my things I got at that estate sale, and this is one. I always think of her. Then I have my oh, you know what it is. It's what I grind up, like my basil and all that, to make spices. And then I have my powdered sugar in my antique ball jar with my antique lid. And this was a cutting board I bought at the thrift store, and I painted it navy blue to match my wallpaper in here. And I did the IOD transfers. Maybe I shouldn't say the IOD transfers because it may not be, but some transfer. And I put the cotton on there. My best friend and her husband are cotton farmers. And so every time I look at this, I think of her. It makes me smile. And of course, I have my KitchenAid mixer, stand mixer, and I'm thinking of moving it into my pantry because I don't use it but like once a month, and it takes up such a large space. I just always thought it looks cool. Then I guess I might as well show my shame. I have stuff here Now, I don't use this stuff. There's an apron I need to put on my apron hanger. You know, you have it so long you forget what's over here. But I have, excuse the dust, this antique salt and pepper shakers. And then this antique little tiny jar. It says Medical Company, J.P. Watkins, Virginia, something USA. But it's very old, and I believe I got that at the same estate sale. Then I have this ice pick here. Please don't criticize me for my dust, but I have this ice pick. And then I have this. I don't know if this is a zester, you know, lemon zest, or I'm really not sure what this is. It kind of looks like a horse scrubber. I don't know. But anyway, I have that. And this is a antique dusty tool. I don't know if it, I guess it's an ice pick. It's very, very old. Put my other one up there. I'm going to redo this one day. And then this, it's a reproduction. I've had it, it's vintage because I've had it for years and years and years, but it is a reproduction. And then I have these old measuring cups there. And then I have this, I think it's a nut grinder. And then this cocoa can. You know, someone was asking, I was watching the other day, how to tell if tins are vintage or not. Well, I know this one's not vintage first because it has a, I mean, not antique, because first it has the barcode, but it is from 1984. That may make it vintage. I guess that makes me ancient. Anyway, but my finding is the vintage, maybe, and the newer have kind of a rougher texture, and that's what I go by. And then up here, I have bouillon cube container and Doan's pills. These are both vintage and they're both smooth. Then I have this faultless starch, and there's still stuff in it. I got it at that same estate sale. And this is aromatic spirit of ammonia. I always think that's what they used to stick under the ladies' noses when they're about to faint, or when they do. Then I have this old rusty grater. Then I have this bicarbonate of soda, and it's antique. And I have this little tiny Comet jar, and it's antique or vintage, I don't know. And I think this is a nut chopper as well. It's got this on the top and the little thing in the bottom. And this is a nut grinder. I think I have two of these. Then I have this whisk here. It's antique. Then I have this, oh, there's another green ice pick, I guess. No, let's see. Take out my whisk. Sorry. Oh, this is a hand mixer. It's antique. Put it like that so you can see that green handle. And this is an antique rolling pin. Put my whisk back. So anyway, but at least that's not on my cabinet. And then I have these dippers. I love dippers because I can remember when I used to go stay with a friend in the summer, they would keep a big bucket on the cabinet and had water in it, cold water from their well, and a dipper. And everybody would come along. If they wanted a drink, they'd just get the dipper and dip up some water and drink it. Well, I was a city girl, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And normally I didn't like drinking after anybody. I still don't really. But I just thought that was so cool. And they were like family. And here's an old antique or vintage potato masher that I have with a green handle. And there's a sifter, and then two of these, whatever they are. And then I have this antique flour sifting cup. Anyway, that's my shame, all this stuff. But what's a girl to do? I love it all. And I was just watching a video the other day. I'm a maximalist, and I was watching Canterbury Cottage, I believe it is, with Sherry. And she was saying that if you're a maximalist, you'll never be happy living in a home as a minimist. You'll never be happy without all your stuff. I'll put it that way. And that's that. This canister set was ours, when I was a little girl. So it just brings back good memories. And then I had this little crock for my toothpicks and another recipe holder. And I just had that old sign I put back there. And then this is our Splenda. And this is our olive oil. And then here I have this pot. And I have wooden spoons in it. And every one of these spoons probably gets used each week. And I'm not exaggerating. Then here I have another one of my crocks with bluebonnets on it. And this I just recently got. I saw someone using it on YouTube, and it looked like it did such a good job on their hamburger meat to stir it up and cook it. It's awesome. I love it. And the rest are my butcher knives that I use a lot. And I grab a different one all the time, sharpen them all the time. And actually, this one right here, it's an old hickory. And my dad gave this to my mom for their wedding present. That's unique. That's original. Anyway, so my stuff just continues on. I'm not even going to raise my camera to the top of my cabinets. I don't think anyone could take it, at least not now. So, there you have it. True confessions of a maximalist. What do I say? Oh, one more thing. My cast iron Dutch oven, I usually leave it on the stove. I hope all of that didn't scare you away. As you can see, my pantry now is behind me through that door. And I need to organize it one day. But we don't have a door there. I wish we did. I would love to have like a sliding barn door there to conceal it. But I don't think there's a way we can do it. We've looked at it and thought it over, and I don't think one would work. Anyway, so that's all I have for this video. It's very different from any I've ever done. Hope it brought you a little bit of laughter and Maybe you can relate. So thanks for watching. Bye.